Prisoner in the jail was eating noodles when he suddenly picked up a single strand and stretched it under the table. Jack, who had just entered prison, was very curious about what he was doing, so he quickly lowered his head to look under the table. It turned out that this prisoner had been sentenced to life imprisonment. Surprisingly, he had been secretly keeping a little mouse that, like him, had lost its freedom. At that moment, the idea of escaping from prison popped into Jack's mind. He didn't want to spend the rest of his life in prison like them. After a moment of deep thought, Jack, whose IQ was 200, came up with a bold plan. When the prison guard wasn't paying attention, he rubbed his spoon hard against the sole of his shoe. Then, with a calm expression, he called the prison guard over and complained that his spoon was too dirty, requesting a clean one. The prison guard was about to refuse when Tom, who was sitting nearby, quickly intervened. Tom claimed that he couldn't eat noodles with a spoon and insisted on getting a pair of chopsticks. Left with no choice, the prison guard agreed to their request. When the two arrived at the cafeteria counter, Tom deliberately kept the guard engaged in conversation. Seeing that the guard's attention was completely focused on Tom, Jack quickly grabbed a new spoon and left in a hurry. However, no one noticed that he had actually taken 2 spoons. Back in his cell, Jack immediately took action. He placed a bundle of matches into a metal can and then snapped the handle off the spoon. Next, he disassembled a nail clipper and used its small file to scrape magnesium shavings off a coin. After a while, he had collected a small amount of magnesium powder, which could be ignited. He then lit a match and used the magnesium powder to weld the spoon handle to the small file. The reason he did this was to create a handy tool for his escape. On his first day in prison, he had secretly taken a nail clipper from the warden during their meeting. After returning to his cell, he had been brainstorming ways to escape. Just when he had no clue where to start, he suddenly saw a cockroach crawl into the ventilation duct. Jack immediately realized something and quickly bent down to observe the vent. This prison was built a long time ago and was located on an island. The building materials had been eroded by moisture and salt over the years, making them extremely fragile. So Jack began using the nail clipper to dig at the vent every night. However, because the nail clipper was too small, progress was painfully slow. Moreover, he encountered tough stones that he couldn't break through. To dig more efficiently, he used the spoon and the nail clipper to craft a more effective digging tool. With this new tool, his digging speed improved significantly. But just as Jack was fully focused on digging, a prison guard suddenly came for an inspection.